my loves. So I had no intention of doing any filming today, and this is my second video. This is kind of how I do. But I was on LinkedIn. Yes, I have a very professional side, and I have a LinkedIn profile. But I was on LinkedIn, and a former coworker of mine shared like a little post where Oprah had interviewed Arianna Huffington, which, by the way, I love Arianna Huffington. I'm just going to put that out there. But one of the questions that she asked her was, let me get it so I get it right. What would you tell your younger self? Which raises another question. Would your younger self listen? So I was like, oh, you know what? That would make a really cool YouTube video and kind of a start to my Get to Know Me series. So if you would like to know what I would tell my younger self and if my younger self would listen, then just keep watching. So my younger self was, it's funny because my mother says up until I hit my teens, I was like the perfect child. Blonde hair, very, kind of princess, kind of I wasn't really a diva, but I was a princess. I was spoiled rotten. And then I hit my teenage years. And Jesus, take the wheel. I was rebellious. My high school, if I could get away with it, I did it. High school was rough for me. I've shared that before on my channel. I didn't have a good start to my high school, so I had a hard time finding my footing. And I'm 40 years old now. Like, I've actually been talking about doing more videos for maturing skin. But when you hit your 40s, your skin is maturing, and we battle a few things that you 20-somethings don't battle. But once you hit your 40s, your perspective on the world changes so drastically. It's almost like you do a 180, or you slam on the brakes. And I've got a lot of learning left to do. But what would I tell my younger self? One, I would tell myself not to be so easily influenced. At the age that I am now, either I want to do it or I don't. If I don't, I'm not. I mean, it's just that cut and dry. But as a teenager, I was very easily influenced. I would do what everyone else was doing. So if everyone else smoked a little marijuana, I smoked a little marijuana. If everybody else was getting drunk, I was getting drunk, I did a lot of really bad things, and I think I mostly done it because everyone else was doing it. I could hear my mom now. If everyone jumped off a bridge was you, I probably would have. Because I did not have the self-confidence to just do my own thing. And I think that's one thing that I admire so much about my teenage daughter. She is not easily influenced. In fact, she's extremely determined and headstrong. And no one sways her opinion. No one sways her to do what they want her to do. She does what she wants to do. And I love that. And I think I kind of raised them to be that way to an extent. But definitely not be so easily influenced. Yeah. I think the other thing that I would tell my younger self is just do what makes you happy. I tell my teenage daughter this all the time as she starts thinking about, her future and careers and college, and so many people want to be the parent of a doctor, the parent of a surgeon, the parent of a biochemist. an engineer. You know, those are the things that people want for their children. And I think we often push our children into career fields that make them lots of money and give them lots of success, but are they happy? And I went to college. I got my bachelor's degree. I pretty much pulled a degree out of the hat because for me, college was never optional, right? You're going to college. The option was which one you're going to. And I want my kids to go to college, don't get me wrong. I want my kids to go to college, but more so, I want them to find their passion. My middle daughter, she's the teenage daughter, she told me one day that she sort of reconsidered what she wants to be when she grows up, and she's talked about this one field that really interested her, but she was like, but you don't make a lot of money doing it. And I said, it doesn't matter how much money you make. And I truly, truly believe that now. I didn't believe that in my 30s. I was a beast at my job, and I got promotion after promotion after promotion because all I wanted was to move up the ladder, to make more money. That was what I wanted. But I told her, I said, listen, I don't care if you are a waitress. I don't care if you're an auto mechanic. I don't care if you work for NASA. What I do care about is that you live your life to the fullest and that you are so happy every single day to go to work. And I told her, I said, you know, when you're 90-some years old and you're on your deathbed and you're telling your children, your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren, the stories of your life, is the story that you want to share, look how much money I made? Or is the story that you want to share a story of adventure and happiness and fulfillment? So if I had life to live over again, which I know I'm still young essentially, I could click the reset button a little bit. But if I was that young blonde girl that was graduating high school, the one piece of advice that I would give her is live a life of adventure and excitement and fulfillment. That is what I would tell her. And I remember I was stationed in Hawaii, and we met this couple. And the husband was the bartender, and the wife was a waitress at this restaurant in downtown Waikiki. And they were both attorneys in a very prestigious law firm in, I think it was New York City. And one day, they just decided to quit. They walked away from so much money. They moved to Hawaii. They live in a one-room loft, making their living as a waitress and a bartender in Waikiki. And they said they were going to do that for 2 years. And then after 2 years, they might go back to practicing law. That is so cool. I remember thinking, that's so stupid. And now I think, wow, that is so cool. So that's the two things that I think I would tell my younger self. Don't be so easily influenced, and live a life that just fulfills you. And would she listen? No. My younger self would not have listened because I was so stubborn and I thought I knew everything. And, you know, my son is getting ready to graduate high school, and seniors or high schoolers or you know, young adults in their 20s, they think they know everything. And I just wish they open their eyes and their ears to listen to some of us that have lived our lives, you know, and just listen to what we have to say. Because, no offense to those of you out there watching that are in high school, getting ready to graduate, maybe in your early 20s, but boo-boo, I promise you, you don't know a thing. And that's okay, because I didn't either. And I had to learn life the hard way in some instances. But I do think learning life the hard way is part of the journey. So everyone should go about their own journeys in their own ways. But I do wish I'd listened just a little bit more to the people around me that might have been a little bit more knowledgeable about life. So those are the two things that I would have told her, and she would not have listened, and her life would have probably ended up exactly the same. But that's okay. I love where I am now. Alright, so I just thought that was a really cool post on LinkedIn, and I thought it would make a really cute video. So let me know in the comments below, what is one thing that you would tell your younger self, and would you listen? Alright, until next time, my loves.